I hate to say it, but we were wrong about the speed rule.
In this video, we'll be talking about how a lot of e-bikers are wrong about how fast e-bikes should be allowed to propel you, and we'll take your views on how fast we should be able to go with electrical assistance and why.
Just a reminder, there's three main laws that concern e-bikes. There's one that you're not allowed a throttle that takes you over 6 kilometers per hour, and there's another that says the maximum allowed power on an e-bike is 250 watts.
We've already made videos about the throttle law and the power law and how they're pretty ridiculous, and there will be links at the end of the video if you haven't seen them yet.
Now, I've held off doing a video about the speed law because of the three laws, it's the one that I don't actually find ridiculous. Yes, I disagree with it, but I understand it. So currently, an e-bike is not allowed to propel you over 15.5 miles per hour. You are allowed to go faster than that, but as soon as you hit 15.5 miles per hour, the motor cuts out. And if you want to go faster, it's up to you to do it yourself.
In the comments of the other two videos, there have been loads of people moaning at me for supposedly campaigning for higher e-bike speeds, even though the videos are about power and the throttle. There have also been a lot of people wishing for a higher top speed. Some even think e-bikes should go 30 miles per hour.
So before we get into the discussion, let us know down below what you think the speed law ought to be. How fast should we be allowed to go with power on an e-bike? Personally, I've always said that 15.5 miles per hour for me is a tad too slow, especially if you're on something like the SX250 by a scooter, whereby you're not really able to propel the bike yourself over the 15.5 miles an hour limit. For me, something like 19 miles per hour would be a lot better. By the way, we'll be doing this video from the PVY H500 Pro, which is a very nice mountain bike style e-bike with 21 gears and a very legal 15.5 miles per hour, although you may well be able to unlock it. A bit more about this bike in a future video.
So what reasons have e-bikers given for wanting a higher electrically assisted speed?
One of the reasons people find it too low is that in general, when you're on an e-bike, quite often it can be quite hard to pedal past the 15.5 mile an hour limit, because once it cuts out, you're working against the motor and quite often fat tires that are very sticky and make it a bit harder to pedal than your normal tires. So because of that, people kind of want to go a bit faster than that, but they can't because they're struggling. I don't really see anything wrong with that per se. Obviously it differs from bike to bike. I've got quite a lot of e-bikes where it's quite easy to pedal past that limit. 23. Whoa. Woo. Burning. How's it got to 25 miles per hour? Gonna get 25? 25? I can't get 26. I'm too tired. I'm too old. It's just that you've chosen to have a fat tyre e-bike, which, although cooler, is less efficient to ride than a normal one. But the big reason I often hear, which I believe now is wrong, is that you should be able to go faster on an e-bike because if you can keep up with traffic, then you are safer, which until recently I agreed with. But I was in the car the other day and I was driving along and there was a bike, and not an e-bike, just a guy in Lycra going about 25 miles per hour, which obviously is about 10 miles an hour faster than our e-bikes will propel us. Yes, he was keeping up with the traffic better than your average e-biker, but, and you can probably guess what I'm going to say now, I still wanted to overtake him because he was still only going 25 miles an hour. What was the problem though? Well, it was harder for me to overtake him because he was going 10 miles an hour faster than someone going 15. It took a lot longer to overtake, which means you needed more time and you needed a bigger gap in the traffic. So although I knew that 25 miles an hour wasn't particularly slow, every fibre in my being wanted to go past him, and that is the problem with thinking that we should up the limit to keep up with traffic, because that is the same with every driver. Well, most drivers at least. Let us know in the comments if you're not like that. But when you're in a car and you see someone going even 30 miles an hour on a 30 mile an hour road, which I hate to admit is me as well, you feel like you're going really, really slow. So if there's a bike going pushing 28 miles an hour, which a lot of these e-bikes can do, you still want to overtake it, and you are going to be more dangerous when you do. And that is why that reason, keeping up with traffic, for me just isn't a valid reason.
Of course, there's also the issue of pedestrians. A lot of people ride their e-bikes on the pavement. If you hit someone at 25 miles per hour rather than 15.5 miles per hour, you are more likely to seriously injure them. Of course, some people could ride a normal bike at 25 miles per hour on the pavement, but people who can ride at that speed without power are much more likely to be on the road.
EU law has recently certified e-bikes as bicycles and not motorcycles, but that's because they're saying that at 15.5 miles per hour, you're not likely to injure someone in the same way as you would on a motorbike. But if you're going at 25 miles an hour, then obviously you're going to injure them a bit more. Another issue with e-bikes being able to go faster than 15.5 is that you would have to introduce some sort of law about the brakes as well, because a lot of e-bikes have got mechanical disc brakes which are okay at 15.5, but as soon as you're going over 20, they're a bit inadequate unless you can really pull hard, which a lot of people can't. But I could be totally wrong. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Despite what I've said, what do you think about the speed law? And obviously there's going to be loads of people who haven't been listening properly or haven't watched the video, and they're going to be complaining that I just want to go faster. So if you do see a comment like that, please do let them know that they need to watch the video again.
But let's not make this video all about problems. Let's also talk about possible solutions to keep people happy. These are just some common ideas and not necessarily the answers. Again, have your say below in the comments.
How about if we do a CBT like you can on a bike, a bit of training that allows you to ride a more powerful e-bike? Let's call it class 2 or class 3 like they've got in America. In America, class 3 e-bikes can be 750 watts. Are there any other solutions? Maybe, because people don't like the fact that it's hard to pedal over 15.5 themselves. Why does the motor have to totally cut out? Maybe it could start decreasing in power so that with the motor you could pedal a bit faster, but you're not accessing all the power to get all the way up to 30 miles an hour or whatever. I still think it's weird that cars have speed limits, and yet the car itself, some of them obviously can go like 140, 150 miles per hour. What's the reasoning for that? Is it because just because you've passed a test many years ago, you're allowed to drive a car that goes 150 miles an hour, and yet bikes, no matter how long you've been riding for, you're stuck to 15.5? What's that? What do you reckon about that?
I'd been holding off doing a speed video due to the fact I don't find it a ridiculous law, but I had to complete the trilogy of e-bike law videos. So let me know if I'm totally wrong in the comments, or if you think I have a point. Is there something I'm missing? It's okay to disagree, it's just nice to have a discussion about something that we all love.
So thanks for watching, thanks for getting to the end of the video, and do watch out for the PVY H500 Pro, which is a lovely bike. So if you like your e-bikes, we've got loads of videos on the channel that you can watch now. But thanks for watching this one, and until next time, ride safe.